Hello everybody in the YouTube space, my name is Trevor and thank you for tuning in once again to the channel. So, as the 8th generation of consoles comes to a close, we're seeing now more news about PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and PC 2 or whatever. As that's coming to a close, I'd like to look back and talk about this current generation of consoles and what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. I was fortunate enough to actually be able to obtain every console or platform, I guess, besides like Stadia, but I don't really count that. Every major gaming platform of this generation I was able to get my hands on. So I just want to go over each of them, talk about what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, and then maybe rank them in order from least favorite to most favorite. If you guys enjoy watching my content and enjoy watching content like this, if you could please leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. I appreciate you and you are the master. So to get right into it, the first console of this generation that I owned was a PlayStation 4, and I bought my PS4 on launch day back in November of 2013. I waited outside of a Best Buy and I was able to get it day one. I've had 3 different PS4s in this console generation. Not because of any performance issues or anything like that. I just had my original base PS4 and then I upgraded to the PS4 Pro, which then I sold because I wasn't playing as much PS4, and then I bought a PS4 Slim. So I've had all of the models of PS4 and it's been kind of hectic, but we have the Slim model now and it's been doing good. So some things that I personally really like about the PS4 are the controller. To this day, it's still one of my favorite controllers that I've ever used. I really love the DualShock 4. Something about it just feels really comfortable, and most of the time when I play on PC, I'll actually use a DualShock as opposed to like an Xbox controller or, you know, something else. I just really love this controller. I made a video way back when that got a lot of views talking about switching over from Xbox 360 to PS4 and talking about the controller differences. And you can hear me rant and rave about it on there, and I still feel that way today about the PS4 DualShock 4. I absolutely love this controller. Another thing I really liked about the PS4, and this may sound weird coming right out of the gate, but you'll understand later in the video when I talk about other platforms, but is the ease of access of just setting up the PlayStation and getting it going. Like I said earlier, I've owned 3 PS4s now, and every single time I bought a new one, it was up and running within 5 minutes. I think that's really cool to just be able to take your console out of the box, plug it into the TV, and be playing video games within 5 minutes. You know, it's just, that's what I want out of a game console, and I think that Sony did a really good job at minimizing the amount of stuff that you need to get through in order to actually get to your games, and I appreciate that. And one of the biggest reasons why I've kept PlayStation in my household through the last 7-8 years, however long it's been, has of course been the exclusive games through Sony. Some people call them walking simulators, some people don't like the style of games that Sony makes, some people just like crap on them. I personally enjoy the hell out of them. I really enjoy games like The Last of Us and Uncharted and God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man PS4. I thought they were all of Sony's mainline exclusive games this generation were really good. You may disagree with me, but I had a blast playing every one of them. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I've always had a PS4 and why I'll probably continue buying PlayStation products in the future. Now, moving on to some things that I didn't really like about PS4, and I still don't really like about PS4, the instability of online services is something that's been affecting PlayStation pretty much its whole life. I mean, going back to PS3, PS4, there's always been hacks and security issues with PlayStation Network, and it's just, you know, I'll go on and PSN will be down, and it's just always kind of a pain in the ass. Back when I used to play primarily with friends on PlayStation, when I'd play online games, it happened more than one occasion where we'd all plan to get together and play, and then we just couldn't because the service was down for whatever reason. And I never really noticed that across like PC servers or Xbox or Switch or whatever. So I think that it's mostly a PlayStation issue. I mean, obviously it happens in other platforms too, but like it seemed to affect PlayStation the most. And then one of the biggest hot button issues of PlayStation in this generation was of course the cross-play issues that they were having. They took a big strong stance on, you know, people buy a PlayStation to play PlayStation games with PlayStation players, and they were really lacking in that that initial support for playing with other platforms, starting with like when Fortnite tried to get everybody on the same boat. They're doing a much better job now, I think, at the end of the generation, but I think they had an issue with it starting out, and it just left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, including me, because I own every platform and I have friends that own different platforms, and it would have been really nice to just be able to play Fortnite or whatever with people that didn't have a PS4. Overall, with PlayStation though, I really can't complain too much about it. I've loved my PS4 this whole generation. I've really had a blast with it. I'm super glad I bought into the console early, and I don't regret buying 3 of them. I honestly don't. I love the PlayStation, and I'm definitely going to continue buying PlayStation products. So the next platform on my list is the Nintendo Switch. And I'm counting the Switch as being part of the 8th generation of consoles because Nintendo kind of had a weird situation with the Wii U, where the Wii U came out a year before the 8th generation, and then it didn't do so well, so they came out with the Switch a few years ago, and I consider the Switch to be the mainline 8th generation console when it comes to Nintendo. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I did own like 3 Wii U's before, but I'm going to talk about Switch. So some things that I really like about the Switch are the games. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. I love Nintendo games. I play primarily Smash Bros on my live streams and for YouTube stuff, and that's the game that I choose to play like competitively and stuff. I love the Zelda games. I love all of it. So to me, it doesn't matter what console Nintendo releases. I'm gonna buy it just because I love playing their first party games. I bought, like I said, 3 Wii U's and I hated the Wii U. I really didn't like that console at all. Like, it had its moments, but it wasn't that great. But I bought it because I wanted to play Smash and I wanted to play Mario Kart and all that other stuff. So it's always going to be a cycle of, you know, buying Nintendo consoles because I need to play their games. Fortunately, I believe that the Switch did much better of a job this generation, this time around, compared to the Wii U in just about every department. There's obviously some shortcomings, which I'll talk about later, but overall, the Switch is much better, and the games are definitely a selling point for me for the Switch. Another reason I love the Switch, and I think this one's a given for a lot of people that buy into the Nintendo Switch, is because you can do this. You can take it off of the dock and you can take it with you and you can do whatever you want with it. And I just think that's the coolest thing in the world, that it can play full AAA titles. Whatever game you're playing on your TV, you can take with you, and it's just, it works. I think they were trying to do something like it with the Wii U and it just didn't work, obviously, with the gamepad and whatever, but like the Switch is exactly what it's supposed to be, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it does it perfectly. There's nothing better to me than like if you're at the end of a hard day or whatever, or just a regular day, and you're playing video games and you start to get tired. I've done it multiple times where I've taken the Switch into my bedroom with me and I've laid down for bed and I just like popped in like Stardew Valley or something, and it's just the most relaxing way to unwind, to just be cozy in your bed, playing a nice game on a, you know, good screen, good controllers. Well, kind of good controllers, but yeah, whatever. It's just, it's a really good feeling. And then the last thing that I have here marked down that I really liked about the Switch is the Switch's Pro Controller. I really like this controller. It's super comfortable to use. Its battery life is legendary. This thing has really good battery life. It's just one of my favorite Pro controllers that I've ever used, and I consider a Pro controller to be whatever ships with, like, you know, an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. Like, that's their version of the controller they intend you to use. And obviously Nintendo wants you to use the Joy-Cons, but they sell this as like their official controller for the system, and I really like it. I think it's super well made, has really good battery life. I've never had any problems with it like disconnecting or missing inputs or anything like that. It's just super solid, and I think it's a great little controller. All right, some things that I dislike about the Nintendo Switch, starting off with its battery life. It doesn't have the best battery life, even if you get the newer model that claims to have improved battery life. If you're playing an intensive game like Smash or Zelda, you're probably only gonna get like 4 to 5 hours of gameplay out of it, which if you're like on a long trip or something and don't have access to a charger, that's kind of a bummer because that's not very much playtime. I don't really have to deal with it that much, so it's not that high up on my list because usually when I play Switch, it's in dock mode, but I have noticed playing in handheld mode before that like it dies super quick. Like my wife and I will play Animal Crossing for a while and it'll only be like an hour or 2 hours and my battery's halfway dead, and it's just like, bro, that's crazy. Like, and I understand it's playing like full-fledged games on a portable tablet device. Like, I don't blame it for having poor battery life. I just don't like that it has poor battery life. Now, this is the biggest thing for me probably with Nintendo Switch is the online features or lack thereof. Nintendo Online, frankly, is a joke. To pay an online membership to get one NES game a month added to a list of NES games that people don't really care about, and like a Super Nintendo game, whatever. I don't care about that. I never wanted it. I don't care about it. Like, the online isn't even good. That's my main problem with it. Like, I don't even care. It's not that expensive. It's like $20 a year, but it's not good. It's not even worth the $20. Like, I play Smash a lot. I play competitively, and the only way that I can really practice, especially now with all the COVID pandemic stuff going on, and you can't go out, you can't go to local tournaments, whatever, is online. And it's a well-known fact that the online for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a joke. It's the laughing stock of the fighting game community in terms of online connection. And I just don't understand why we're paying for something that isn't good. Like, and Nintendo just doesn't seem to want to or care about fixing it. And not just like the connection, but like there's no features. Like, you can get Hulu, which, okay, I get it. I understand that they wanted to brand the Switch as a gaming console and that's it. Like, it plays video games, whatever. But like, people's fucking smartwatches have Hulu and Netflix now. Like, there's no reason why you can't put some more features. There's no instant messaging between friends. There's no achievements. There's no trophies. There's just like basic things that are lacking. Even PC has achievements and trophies. Like, I don't know. That's just something that I think I missed from the Switch. And the last thing I have here, not really a big deal, whatever, but the price of the games. Nintendo is very, I don't know what the word is. Nintendo is very good at not lowering the prices of the games. You can go to a store, and most anywhere that you go, if you look for like Breath of the Wild, which by the way was a release title for the Nintendo Switch like 3 years ago, is still $60 new. Mario Kart 8 still $60 new. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate still $60 new. Like, they do not drop their prices unless it's like a special sale for like Mario Day or whatever, or if the game doesn't sell well. And even then, it's gonna take a while. And they do this because they know that people are gonna pay the prices regardless. Like, I bitch about the price in Nintendo games all the time, but how many times have I gone out and spent $60 on a Nintendo game? Every single time, because I want to play the Nintendo games and I can't play them anywhere else. I don't know, it bugs me that they know they have that control over people and they don't lower the prices of the game. If you look at like Sony and Microsoft, they literally have sales all the time on their biggest games. You can go on PlayStation right now and buy The Last of Us Remastered for like $5. And granted, it's like a $20 game, I think, but like $5 for one of the greatest, in my opinion, greatest gaming experiences of last generation. $5. If you tried to buy, you know, like I said, Breath of the Wild, it's still $60. All right, next on the list, this is my newest console. I've just got it not too long ago, is the Xbox One. So I had actually told myself for the longest time that I'd never get an Xbox One because I didn't feel it was necessary. And I'll go into that more later, I guess. But like, to sum it up, I feel like you can get most games for Xbox on PC. And I had a PC, so like, I never felt it necessary to buy an Xbox. But let me tell you why I did. So I bought an Xbox not too long ago because we needed a Blu-ray player for our living room. And with all this COVID stuff going on, a lot of stores were sold out. And the ones that you could get were like $80 bare bones Blu-ray players without Wi-Fi or anything like that. And I was like, why would I spend $80 on a Blu-ray player when I could just spend like, I think I got the Xbox for $250. I could spend $250 on a brand new Xbox One S. And then I have a Blu-ray player and an Xbox One S, you know? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like a good idea at the time, and I don't regret it. I like the Xbox. It's fun. But that's why I have an Xbox. I never thought I was gonna end up getting one, but I have one now, so I felt it was cool because now I can make this video where I compare all the things. With that being said though, here's some things that I really like about the Xbox that I wasn't really expecting or I didn't really know about because I didn't own an Xbox. First thing, biggest thing, by far, the whole reason that Xbox became a viable purchase for me in the first place is Game Pass. You guys don't know what Game Pass is. You pay $10 a month for access to over 100 games. Any first-party Microsoft titles get put on there right away, as well as some really big-name third-party games and some cool indie games. It's a hell of a deal. For $10 a month, I was able to download on my Xbox Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Warzone, I mean, that's free anyway, but whatever, Kingdom Hearts 3, Perfect Dark, which I love that game. It's a classic game from my childhood. I have a video where I talk about my favorite nostalgic video games, and that made it. So it was really cool to be able to play that again. There's just a ton of good games on there, and they're updating it constantly. Honestly, Game Pass alone is worth buying an Xbox for, 100%. I bought one game for my Xbox. I bought Skate 3 because I miss playing Skate 3, and I can't play it on PS4. So I bought Skate 3, and every other game that I've been playing has been through Game Pass, because it's more than enough content to keep you busy. And it's honestly the best thing Xbox has ever done, in my opinion. I think it's a great service. They offer games that make it worth it, and at a price that is 100% agreeable. $10 a month is not much for the amount of games you have access to. Things that I like about Xbox number 2 is, surprisingly, the controller. I never thought I would like the Xbox One controller as much as I do, and I really, really like it. I don't quite like it as much as DualShock 4, I don't think, but like, it's not far behind. I always thought I'd have a problem with this controller just because I really like the Xbox 360 controller, but I felt it was really different. The bumpers and the triggers felt different, and it felt weird, and I don't know, the first time I held it, it just felt too big, and I don't know, but after playing with it, I've put quite a number of hours into Red Dead 2 and Skate 3 and stuff like that. It's really good. I really enjoy the controller a lot more than I thought I would. So I have to put it on the list as something that I enjoy, and it's kind of surprising to me that I do, because I never thought I would. And then the last thing that I have on here is kind of a niche thing for me, because I stream on Mixer, and I follow a lot of people on Mixer. So it's really cool to me that it has the Mixer integration built in, obviously through its, you know, an Xbox product, it's a Microsoft product. They're going to have that, but it's cool that I can watch the creators that I enjoy watching on Mixer through my Xbox. I just like it. I don't know. And the option to be able to stream to my Mixer page from Xbox is also really nice. I started streaming on Mixer before I got an Xbox, so it's nice to have that integration for something that I was already doing. And I knew that it had it, and I just never even realized it until I got the Xbox. So that was a nice surprise. Now for a few things that I don't really care for about the Xbox so much. I talked earlier about PS4, how the startup time and the ease of access to get it going is really short. It wasn't like that with Xbox. It wasn't like that at all. Personally, I don't know if I did it wrong or something, but like, I turned on the Xbox and it was like, hey, welcome to Xbox. First, you have to sign in with your Microsoft account. You're like, okay, that makes sense. But then it's like, now you have to do this. You have to enter this information. Please go to this website and activate this. And it was like, I don't know, I think it took like 35 minutes from the time of turning on my Xbox for the first time to the time I got to see the home screen with like updates and whatever else. It was like, holy crap, why did that take so long? It was just frustrating. Like, I was like, I just want to like get to a point where I can play Skate 3, damn it. Maybe it wasn't a big deal, maybe I did it wrong, but like, it seemed to take forever to boot up the Xbox for the first time. That being said, the startup time in general on that thing, like, I could start up 3 PS4s in the time it takes for my Xbox One to turn on. Like, I didn't even notice it was that bad until I got an Xbox, but it takes a long time to turn on, and that's the One S. I can't imagine what the original Xbox One is like. I can't imagine how long the thing takes to turn on. You could like turn on your Xbox and go warm up like yesterday's spaghetti dinner for 5 minutes and come back and it would probably be like still turning on. Funny jokes are funny. This is again something that I talked about earlier, but as far as exclusive games goes, I don't really care about Xbox exclusives. Like, I've never been a Gears of War fan. I tried playing the original ones on 360 and I didn't really like how they controlled, and not to say that they're bad games or anything, they just weren't for me. But as far as exclusives go in general, Xbox doesn't really have any that interest me. Like, any game that I want to get on Xbox, I can most likely play on PC, and I'd rather play it on PC. I do think that Xbox is really good for third-party games, but as far as their first-party titles go, they're super lacking. And then the last thing that I have on here is overall just the home screen design, the menu design. I don't care for it. I think it's confusing, and I think PlayStation flows a lot better. I don't remember the Xbox home screen being like that. I think it used to be like kind of like a Windows 8 screen where it had like the blocks, and that's how I remember it anyway. And I think I like that better than what it currently is. It's like you can add games to your home screen, but if you don't, then they just sit in a folder called My Games. And like the store is like the Microsoft store. It's not just like the Xbox Arcade or whatever. So it feels like I'm buying everything on a PC in like the Windows Store, and I hate the Windows Store. So like, I just don't like it. I don't like it. It feels weird. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's gross and ugly, and I don't think it flows well at all. Oh, and one side note, I think it's really stupid that you need to download an app to watch Blu-rays. You can't just pop in a disc and watch your Blu-ray like you can on PlayStation. You have to download the Blu-ray app from the store. That's dumb. I don't like it. I don't have anything good to say about that. That's a dumb decision. That's it. And last but not least, we come to the device that I'm on right now using to record this is PC. I didn't get into PC gaming until this generation of consoles. That's why I'm including it. I know PC's been around forever, but I got into PC gaming probably a little over 2 years ago. And it's been an adventure. I can't say I've ever experienced anything like it in the gaming world. It's very unique. And again, I'll go over what I like and don't like about it. And some of it might surprise some of you, some of it might not. I don't know. We'll see. So first thing I like is free online. You don't have to pay any subscription fees to anybody to play your games and communicate with people and watch Netflix on your computer and whatever else. It's still free. And I like that. I don't have to pay PC Live or, PlayStation or, computer network prices or whatever. It's just free. And I like that. I appreciate it, and I hope it stays that way. And I think it will, because how could they possibly control that? Number two, obviously, you're gonna get way better performance. The graphics that I run a 144 hertz monitor. I can play games at like 2K resolution, like just 1440p. It's like 144 frames per second, and it looks so good. I'm not gonna lie. Like going back to playing some of these games on console where they're running at 30 frames per second, it's mind-boggling how like different it is. You don't realize it when you're playing console as opposed to playing PC, but it's a huge difference. So overall, obviously, like the graphical performance and just like the performance of games all around is much better. This pertains more to first-person shooter games, but the control of mouse and keyboard is something I never ever thought I would get used to when I first started playing PC games. I'm like, this is bizarre and I don't like it. Where are my joysticks? But once you get used to it, I cannot go back and play first-person shooter games with like a gamepad anymore, with like a controller. It doesn't feel right anymore compared to having a mouse and keyboard. Mouse and keyboard is definitely the ideal way to play first-person shooter games. And once you get used to it, it's amazing and it works great and better than I could have ever expected. But also, just the controller options you have. Like, if you don't want to play with mouse and keyboard, you don't have to. You can connect a controller to it. If you want to play with some weird Retron 8BitDo, whatever, you can do that too. You can literally play with almost any controller you can think of as long as you can connect it somehow with Bluetooth or USB. You're pretty much going to be able to use it. And I think that's really awesome because you don't get that kind of flexibility with anything else. And then one of the biggest things I like about PC is just the overall personalization, making it your own, using Discord to communicate and, message. And there's so many ways that you can use a PC to game and to have a good gaming experience. It's literally endless, and it's really nice and a breath of fresh air compared to having to be limited to Xbox Party Chat or PlayStation Party Chat, which cuts in and out, and the audio quality isn't that good. I can plug in this microphone and these headphones and play whatever game I'm playing, and I'll get that audio quality. And a lot of people that play PC have this same type of setup, so you get way better comms, get way better audio quality, and you can wear your nice headphones, and it just sounds a lot better. The personalization for PC is unmatched, 100%. You cannot get this with any console, no matter what. And that's probably one of the biggest pluses to PC that I can think of. Now here comes the PC master race to poop all over me for saying this, but there are a lot of things that I don't like about PC gaming and why I still prefer consoles over PC gaming in some aspects. The number one issue that I've run into is hardware issues. They suck. Having to, you know, if you have issues with your RAM, or if your disk drive isn't loading properly, or if your CPU is, you know, overworked and it causes lag, and it, you know, it's just super frustrating. You will never ever get that if you turn on your Xbox and you play Call of Duty. It's gonna run at a consistent frame rate. You're never gonna have to worry about like your RAM failing. I mean, maybe, but like not nearly as often, I don't think. And I know you can do a lot to keep your system healthy with like regular cleanings and whatever, but I think in general, it's gonna happen a lot more with PCs, especially self-built PCs. If you build your own PC, you're much more likely to run into issues with hardware compatibility and crashes and things like that. And that's probably the biggest thing that I haven't liked about PC gaming so far. Some littler things that I kind of nitpick at, but I don't think they're too big of deals, but I just still don't like them. There's too many launchers for PC. Too many ways to play your games. And with the exclusivity deals, it's like console exclusivity, but on one platform. It's like only being able to play a game on Xbox instead of PlayStation, but you're playing it on one console. It's stupid. I can't play, you know, like when, what was it, Borderlands 3 came out for only Epic Store for 6 months. You can only get Borderlands 3 on PC through one launcher. And that's the way a lot of this is. So right now, let me take a look. I'm sitting at my computer right now, and I have Battle.net, Rockstar Games Launcher, Bethesda Launcher, Epic Games Launcher, Steam, Origin, and probably a couple other ones that I'm not seeing right now. That's a lot of launchers. That's really annoying. I never liked that about PC, and I think it's really dumb. The last thing, this is definitely a me issue. This isn't an overarching PC issue. This is a my preference thing. Sitting at a desk to play video games fucking sucks. I don't like it. It takes the immersion out of video games for me 100%. I cannot play games like Fallout or Skyrim on PC because it doesn't feel good to me. I can't sit in an office chair at my desk and pretend that I'm saving the land of Tyrael. I don't know. It's something about sitting at a desk. I get super uncomfortable really fast. And I know you can take your PC out to the living room and connect it to your TV and whatever, use a controller. You can do that. Sure, 100%. But that's super inconvenient. If you want to have a consistent setup like I do for streaming and YouTube and stuff like that, it doesn't make sense to lug your whole PC out to your TV and plug shit in. That's where console really shines, in my opinion, where you can just sit down on a couch, take your controller in your hand, and play a game and get lost in it. I tried to play The Outer Worlds on PC, and I couldn't do it. I got maybe 15 minutes into it, and it just didn't feel right. Outer Worlds is on Game Pass for Xbox, and I've been playing it, and I've been loving it. It's a great game, I think, but I can't play it on PC because it just doesn't feel right to me. It feels weird overall to game on a PC at a desk. I think that's like one of the weirdest things for me. And again, that's a totally self thing. You could disagree with that. I don't blame you. But for me, it's bizarre. All right, guys. So that concludes my list of different things I like about different consoles for this generation. I hope you learned something about me. I'd like to learn some things about you. Let me know in the comments what your favorite console of this generation was, why you liked it, why you disliked your least favorite console of this generation. Did you own all of them? Did you not? Let me know. Let's talk about it. I think this is super interesting. I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in today to watch this video. I don't do regular YouTube content all that much. I mostly focus on streaming and stuff, but I do want to get back into producing more sit down, talk to you kind of YouTube content. And I thought this was a good place to start. I haven't done a video like this in a while where I just like compare things, and those are the videos that seem to do best on my channel. So I thank you for taking the time to come in and watch this video, and just let me know what you think about everything that I talked about. With that being said, I do stream quite regularly. I stream on Twitch, Mixer, and here on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed here on YouTube, be sure to do that to catch the live streams as well as any future videos that I might put out. And if you're a Twitch or Mixer guy, you can follow me there. I'll put the links down below in the description of this video. So again, thank you guys. I appreciate the watch. Leave a like if you liked the video. Hopefully I'll make more of these soon, and when I do, I'll see you there. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great day.